So I call it, this is why you're single, recognizing self-sabotaging patterns through psychological astrology profile. Doesn't mean that if you're in a relationship, you don't need this. If you're in a relationship and things are not working out, some of these blocks can be like happening in a relationship now. And if you're also married, you're kind of like stuck with the person anyway. So you might also still have some blocks that you need to get rid of. I was writing the ticketing page today and I realized that, you know what, I can do it two ways. I can do it either write like very like painful sales copy. What's a common denominator for your past failed relationships? You. So it's a way of writing sales copy to aggravate the pain, to make you feel hurt, to make you feel like, oh my gosh, I'm such a lame person, I need this workshop. But I feel that in this era, in this situation now, I really don't want to be doing that to you. I don't want to be forcing you to feel like shit before you sign up. So I'm not gonna do that because I find it manipulative. But yes, and then we do not need this kind of bullshit in the current environment. So what I'll do is tell you honestly what we will be covering in the 1.5 hour online workshop. So this is the dates, May 24th, 8 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. I checked the astrology calendar. It is a good timing. And there are 3 price points. Just the online class and astrology chart, online class chart, and also a 30-minute consultation that's only open to 5 people. So in this workshop, it's not a workshop, it's a class. I'm just going to say class. In this class, we'll be using psychological astrology profiles to reveal blocks that surface for people that is blocking them in their relationships. I don't know why I wrote it that way, but so in total there are 25 profiles, and 5 of them relate to relationships that affects both gender. Because for women there is one that affects you, but then for men, and women, this is the one that we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about how Venus shows up, which is also why I had the Venus talk just now, so that you understand something like that. So these barriers show up. It can show up before you start a relationship and even during a relationship. Especially during a relationship, this might show up because it comes out of insecurity. It comes out of, I sometimes it's like I want to hold on to this relationship, so the bad patterns show up. Or it could be like, oh my gosh, I cannot handle all the commitment, I want to run away. That can also show up. So it can show up in many various ways. It can show up also like, my partner is not learning, I want out. So that could show up as well. So those are different patterns. And then that is subconscious, because you don't go around feeling you know what, I feel I want my freedom, so I will run away from this relationship. And most of the time it comes up as like, I feel suffocated by my partner, I want to go away from it. You feel like it's put upon you instead of you yourself have this pattern. That's why you are having this like negative thought. So until it's pointed out to you, you might not even know that. Sometimes it's also your face is very like cao bin. You meet people and then you're just like, the guy you like, you're just like, I pretend I don't care. And that is one of the patterns that show up. So and you are not aware of that, because for you, we'll go deeper into that. I have that as well. It's like for you, it's like showing that I care means that I will lose out. Showing that I care means that I might be made fun of, so you don't show care. And that guy, they might like you, and then they end up like, I think she hates me, so I won't even try. So I mentioned there are 3 price points. Just the class for $10. Online class and psychological astrology chart is $27. Online class, psychological chart, and 30 minutes relationship profile consultation is the $97 version. There's only 5 spots for that because I just like, I don't want an avalanche. Okay, at first I only planned to have these 2, but then I thought that, you know what, some people might just want to listen to class. They don't want to have the chart. It's fine for me. So that's why I'm offering the $10, just the listening in thing. And then of course, right, once I've offered that, people will ask me, then do I really need to get the psychological astrology chart option, because it's like $17 more expensive? So in all honesty, you can sit through the class and apply the lessons to your life without the chart. It's the chart, but with the chart, you'll be able to know rather than guess if you have the profile or not. The psychological astrology chart is manually done by me. I look at your birth chart, I put things into the chart on my own. It's not currently it's not computer generated, because a lot of times a lot of things you get offline, it's all computer generated, but this one's basically it's me. And then eventually when my teacher launches her app, I probably don't need to offer this. So if you guys are curious how a chart looks like, you'll probably be like, question mark, what the hell is happening? That is fine. But basically when you get the chart, you'll be looking at this. And for myself, I will see that, oh, you know what, I have the Venus Saturn and I have the Venus Pluto. But that doesn't mean that the Venus Jupiter, Venus Uranus, and Venus Neptune doesn't affect me, because these things can be also triggered by what is happening in the sky, and it can also be triggered by whoever you are with. Because when we are in a partner, when we are with a partner, our there's another chart that comes up, and in that chart, it could trigger something that plainly isn't in your regular birth chart. So for example, for myself, I do not have a Venus Jupiter. For me, it's like I do not need my partner to like let me learn, because I can definitely learn on my own. But I realized that in one of the relationships that I'm in, it's more like it's not really romantic, but it's a relationship that when learning suddenly came out as something that was important, something that was uh very necessary for me. So it's like other people can trigger the different astrological profiles in a chart, and of course how the different planets are moving can also occur as well. So for example, if Uranus is making anything to your natal Venus, then you would have the Venus Uranus coming up. So doesn't mean that this is a one-time thing. It's a chart that you can use again and again and again with an astrologer to help you out, because if you look at it, basically you don't know what it is. And also to caution you, for the psychological astrology chart, I will need your exact birth time, your birth date, and birth city. So if you don't have birth time, sorry, don't pick that, because it will be totally not useful for you. I can give you like a Blair one, but there will be a lot of things that are lacking. So I would rather, if you do not have an exact birth time, do not pick the birth chart selection. And if you pick the birth chart selection and you tell me you don't have a birth time, I can do the chart for you, but it will not be good. Okay, so just a disclaimer, just a warning. If you die want to do it without birth time, I can do it for you, but this basically like it will be like a watered down version, so it's not that useful. And of course, if you have done a paid astrological consultation with me, I'll have this one already written out somewhere. So ask me before selecting the option. And I want to emphasize the paid astrological consultation with me, because previously I have done quite a lot of like very like surface level kind of reading for people. If you have not paid me money for that, I will definitely have not done the chart with you, because it takes a lot of time to do that. And then if it's a free reading, I will definitely not be doing that. And if you're asking what's in a 30-minute astrological consultation, it really depends on you. But basically, if you're single, I'll be sharing your relationship profile, what you need in a partner based on your birth chart. So I'm debating between two things for the astrological consultation. One is either we work on what problems you have based on your astrological profile, or basically I give you a relationship profile. So basically, but the problem if I give you a relationship profile and you never fix your problem, even you find the best person in the world, you will not be able to have a great relationship, because the problem is not solved yet. So it's a chicken and egg thing. If you sign up for 30-minute astrological consultation, let's chat about what you really want out of the consultation, okay? And then the last part is, this is not a disclaimer. I'm going to shout it out really loud. This is not a manifest a partner class, okay? I'm not going to tell you, you come in, you go out with a boyfriend. This is not what this is about. This is not a manifest your partner workshop. Again and again and again, I'm going to repeat that. And then I also want the disclaimer, I am single as fuck. Am I happy about it? Maybe not so much. But am I happy now? Yes, I'm happy now. Do I want a relationship? Yes, I want a relationship. But of course, I'm very picky, which is explained by one of my things. But anyway, I understand I have the blocks myself, and I understand that I'm also working on them myself. And I do things with a clear understanding that these are my blocks. I do things, for example, if I'm interacting with someone, I have very clearly in my mind what the blocks are. Of course, if you're single, we are on this journey together, don't worry, because sometimes I find that people who already have partners, they're kind of like, haha, I got a partner. The workshop is on May 24th, 8 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. I will repeat, there are 3 different price points. So 3 different price points, just the online class, the psychological chart, and the online class, and yeah, so these are the price points. And if you sign up for the just the online class, and then what happens is that during the class you're like, hey, YQ, I want my astrological profile. Then I'm like, no, you only get it 2 days afterwards, because I need time to do it. It's not like I can automatically do it for you, but it will not be good. It will be very general. It will be very like surface level. So you really need to give me time to do the chart. So if you feel like you might need the chart, of course, pick the chart. If you feel like just want a class, fine. But then you know what? If you want to top up, it's an extra $20 afterwards, and then you will need like 2 more days before you actually get it. And the funny thing is that You might not even have the Venus stuff in your chart when you get it. You're just like, oh, what am I talking about? But yes, as I mentioned, this chart is not just you, but also it can be triggered if you have a partner. It can be triggered by anyone. It can be triggered by your mother sometimes. And it also can be triggered by, of course, the different transits that are happening in the sky. So yeah, of course, guys, if you have any questions about this class, this is why you're single, recognizing self-sabotaging patterns through astrology, psychological astrology profiles. And I picked this picture. I was like, oh, it looks a bit sad, but I'm gonna put it there. And then, of course, if you're single and you're happy about it, it's doesn't mean you cannot take the class. If you're single and happy, great. But these psychological astrology profiles affect us not just in our dating life. It also affects us in our business partnerships, especially. It affects us if we are interacting with friends as well sometimes, because it can show up in not just romantic relationships. So definitely, if for example you say, "Ah, yeah, I'm married, no need." Maybe you do. You can just take the $10 class. Like if you're married, just take the $10 class and then take what is needed, leave what is not. And if you are like, you know what, I want to be celibate all my life, good for you. I don't want to date. It's also useful because you will be interacting with human beings, and the stuff that are there can be blocks for you. So of course, guys, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for watching. If you end here, if you have any questions, let me know. The workshop is on May 24th. It's 11/11. I love it. It's on May 24th. Afterwards, I'll be selling the workshop at a higher price, of course. So if you want to get it at this price, sign up now.